Okay, kind of go back and explain it to make sure it's clear. This week, we've been talking about writing paragraphs and specifically focusing on how to write a topic sentence and supporting sentences. So today we're going to check homework and we'll also look at unity and a little bit more about supporting details. Um, but just to review that homework assignment, you have a partner that I've assigned to each of you, and you are supposed to check your partner's work in the discussion board, and they are supposed to check your work and leave a comment like, I think this is good, or maybe you're missing a subject, or um, I don't understand your second sentence, whatever you need to do. But I want everybody to leave a comment in the discussion board for your partner to read, okay, this week. So for the discussion board pair activity, what you're going to do is go back to chapter 1 and pick that topic that you already did the pre-writing for, either clustering or you did brainstorming or the free writing, okay? So you're going to pick that same topic from chapter 1 and you're going to type in a topic sentence, and then you're going to continue the paragraph by adding 2 more sentences, okay? Don't finish the whole paragraph in the discussion board because it's too much for us to look at this week. Okay, next week we will write a whole paragraph, but this week we're just writing the first part, okay? The first part of it. So does that make sense, Gerardo? Oh, I can't hear you. Turn on your microphone. Yeah.
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So the discussion board activity, you work with a partner and you only need to write the first part of the paragraph. And then your journal assignment is a separate activity where you go to your journal assignment worksheet and you choose your own topic from there and you write for 30 minutes and then you send that to me. I'm the only person that will read your journal.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, good. Good questions.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, on the on week 6, there is before the second video, there is a reading assignment, and you attach a file basis paragraph analysis.
Yeah,
What,
basic
what,
paragraph.
what
Yeah.
we are gonna do with that?
Okay, that's actually today's topic. So today I'm going to actually show that document, that Word document on my screen, and we're going to talk about that today.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Yeah, so you're a little bit ahead of the game. I posted it in Blackboard so that students who don't get to watch the video or want to look ahead, they can go in there and look at it. But basically, we're going to answer a few questions about that paragraph that I typed.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll do it today in our class here. Okay, so again, today we're focusing more on supporting sentences and how to make those better, and also some things that we need to avoid when we're writing supporting sentences, okay? So what's coming up next week? Just a little heads up. Next week, we're going to begin writing our first major paragraph for this class that I will take for a grade. It's going to be an illustration paragraph, okay? And we'll be looking in chapter 4, the beginning of chapter 4, for how to write that type of paragraph. It's one of the most simple paragraphs that you can write, so that's why we're doing that one. We're starting very simple with the illustration paragraph. So Next week, we'll choose the topic. We'll write a topic sentence. Everybody will have a different topic sentence and a different topic, okay? And then the following week, so 2 weeks from now, you're going to write the full paragraph. And if we have time, we'll do some editing of those paragraphs. I'm going to kind of see how we need to do that. But I will be taking those for a grade. And they will be submitted in what's called Turnitin. And Turnitin is software that TCC has provided for teachers to use. Basically, when you submit your assignment, it's going to check that assignment for any kind of copying that you did from other sources. And so it's kind of a way for me to make sure that you're not copying sentences. And it also gives me a way to edit your paper very quickly. So we will work with that as it comes up. I'm kind of excited because I'm going to be able to edit your papers and show you which sentences you have mistakes in, and then you're going to go back and change and correct those mistakes and send it back to me. So on that note, start thinking now about maybe setting up an appointment with the Writing Center. The Writing Center is open on each campus, and you can actually go to in-person, I believe. You can go to in-person tutoring, or you can do online tutoring, and they can also help you with your sentence structure, your organization, and that kind of thing. So that's coming up in 2 weeks. So just so you guys know what's coming up, very important 2 weeks are ahead of us. So why don't we go ahead and get started with checking our homework, which we need to look at page 15 first, practice 2. Practice 2. Okay, Sammy, can you tell me what this is about? In practice 2, what are we doing? What's happening, or what are we looking for in practice 2? Sammy, are you there?
Yes, my microphone has problem.
Oh,
In practice too,
yeah. What are we looking for?
we should underline the topic and controlling idea twice.
Okay, what does that mean? What's a topic and what is a controlling idea?
A topic is I can explain. Your topic is you write about
Yes.
main idea.
Yeah. The main idea also includes a controlling idea, but your topic
yes.
it's going to be a thing, a
Yes.
subject, something that you're
subject.
writing about, okay? And then what's a controlling idea?
I can't explain.
You can look at page 14 if you want to help. Because the controlling idea is an essential part of the topic sentence, because what does a controlling idea do?
It makes a point about the topic.
It makes a point, or it's something to focus on. Remember, I used that word focus.
Yes.
Okay. Think about being pointed in a specific direction with your topic. That's what a controlling idea does. It focuses on something about your topic, okay?
Yes.
So for example, look at practice 2. College classes is the topic in the example that the book gives you, okay? Top of page 15. College classes is the topic. That is a general subject. That's a thing that's general, okay? So what we need to do is focus on some part of that topic. And that's what a controlling idea does. It gives a specific aspect or part of that topic that you want to focus on in your writing. So that's the second part of the sentence. It says should start in the afternoon. That is more specific. And that paragraph, if I were to write a paragraph about this, I would only focus on why college classes should start in the afternoon. Okay? I would not write about why I like college classes. I would not write about, different kinds of teachers or different subjects. I'm not going to write about that because the controlling idea says should start in the afternoon. So that's what I have to focus on in my paragraph. I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why it should start in the afternoon. Maybe one reason could be because college students usually don't wake up until noon, right? um,
Yeah.
like when my younger sister was in college, I don't call her until it's after 12 in the afternoon because she won't pick up the phone, right? She's sleeping when she doesn't have a class. And she and I too, we used to miss our 8 o'clock classes all the time. Those 8 o'clock classes they're a killer. Um, so anyways, I would explain the reason why college classes should start in the afternoon. So that focus is really important when you create a topic sentence. And when I'm grading your paragraphs in a couple weeks, I'm going to be looking at that controlling idea. You can guarantee it. If that controlling idea is too general and you start talking about all kinds of things and you're going off topic, you'll get points marked off. If your controlling idea is about one thing and then you start, writing about something else, then you'll get points marked off for that too. So we have to learn how to stay under like the umbrella of our main idea as we're writing, okay? So these are some good examples for us to look at on how to focus a topic sentence on something. So number 1, we should underline art education. Underline that one time. And number 2, and we need to underline valuable for high school students 2 times. So the topic is art education. The controlling idea is valuable for high school students. Okay? Are we thumbs up on that?
Yes.
Good. Okay, Gerardo, I can see you, so good. All right, let's go to number 2. And what did you put, Gerardo?
Uh, for for topic, I put rice, and for controlling idea, I put a very nutrition food.
Okay, so this time we switched sides, right? We only underline rice one time. We underline a very nutritious food 2 times. So is that okay to do that? Is that okay to put the topic at the end of my first sentence?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it is. So let me write this. Okay, so the topic is rice, and the controlling idea is a very nutritious food. Now, this is a good point to think about. The topic is not always going to be the subject. Okay? When we talk about subject and verb, that's a different aspect of a sentence. Okay? Subject and verb, the subject is food, the verb is. Okay? But in this sentence, rice is actually the topic. Okay? So don't get confused with a subject and a topic. They're not the same thing. So how do we know that rice is the topic? We can ask ourselves the question, what is this paragraph about? What is the paragraph about? Is it about nutritious food? Not exactly, because it's not about oranges and lettuce and salads. It's not about all kinds of nutritious food. It is about rice. So we're talking about rice, and then we want to focus on how the rice is nutritious. And so in that paragraph, I would only be writing about the different nutrients that are in rice. Okay, so maybe the carbohydrates in rice, the vitamins in rice. That is what I would be focusing on in my paragraph. Okay. Any questions about that?
No, for me, teacher.
Okay. Just, click on the raise your hand button if you have a question as we're going on. Okay, Sammy, what did you put for number 3? What is the topic?
Underline the holiday and resort looked glamorous.
Glamorous?
Yes, is to underline twice.
It's underlined twice. Okay, so the topic is the holiday resort.
Yes.
And the focus is glamorous, or you can say look glamorous. But notice again, I want you to notice something here. If you remember last week, I talked to you about using adjectives in your controlling idea when you're writing a topic sentence, right? Or sometimes we use a plural noun. Like, I have several favorite hobbies, right? So here, these 3 that we've just done are examples of them using adjectives. And so that is what's that's the controlling idea in these 3 examples. They are focusing on how this topic is described, right? Art education, valuable. Rice, nutritious. Holiday resort, glamorous. Okay? So the holiday resort is not the same as a holiday. A holiday resort is a place like a hotel, a place that you go to during the holidays. You go there like on vacation. That's what it means. Okay, so that's good for number 3. Now, let me go through the others kind of quickly, and you can ask questions if you need to. Number 4, the topic is become a responsible pet owner. Become a responsible pet owner. And the controlling idea is following some simple steps. Notice again, we've got, I really like to point this out because later you guys are going to write your own topic sentence. Do you notice how we have, oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. That's a long line. We have steps. Steps here is, well, that looks bad too. Steps is a plural noun. Okay, remember what I said? That key word, either use an adjective or use a plural noun. It will help you make topic sentences quicker, and it will become like a habit for you, and so you won't have to think too much about it. Okay, So we've got, this one is a plural noun. And that's a great way to make a controlling idea, okay? And so, of course, this paragraph, if I were to write a paragraph about this, under this topic sentence, I would have to write 2 or 3 steps. First, you need to make sure you have a good space, enough space for your pet to be outside. Secondly, you need to buy nutritious food for your pet or whatever it is, you know. So you can see that that controlling idea is helping me to focus on specific things in my paragraph. Just the steps to become a responsible pet owner. Okay, let me know if you have a question about that one. And let's go to the next one, number 5. Fun dating apps is the topic. And again, 3 types. What do we have here? Is this an adjective or is this a plural noun? Is this an adjective or a plural noun that I'm using, guys?
Plural.
Yeah, I've got a plural noun, types. Types, okay? That's my controlling idea. And then number 6, the topic is when he bought his first used car. This is a narrative paragraph, so he's going to tell a story. Okay, when he bought his first used car. And then what are we going to focus on in this paragraph? Several unexpected surprises. Several unexpected surprises. Okay, guys, so that's practice 2 answers. Now let's skip over to practice 4. Wait a second. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong page. I was like, wait, we already checked that. Practice 5. I was looking at our last lesson. Practice 5, and you're just, this is a good way to look at what a topic sentence looks like, and then how do you organize those supporting sentences. Now, I will be honest with you, it is okay to mix the order of these sentences.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it and I thought, you know what? This is kind of a strange assignment because they don't always have to follow a specific order. But sometimes you have to follow an order. Like in number 2, there are dates.
Yes.
It starts when she's young and it goes to when she's older. So that we need to follow an order. But number 1, we don't really have to follow a specific order for these. But I'll just tell you what your book put as the answers. For number 1 on practice 5, where it says take a leave of absence from your job, okay? They put these numbers 3, 2, 4, 1, and 5. But like I said, don't worry about it. You do not have to put those in a specific order because they're not related to time. So to help avoid confusion, I'm just going to put here practice 5. Right, number 1. You can put them in any order. The main thing I wanted you to see was looking at the topic sentence, and I want you to circle the word some things, where that's the controlling idea. Some things you should do, or you can underline that in number 1. Some things you should do to maintain your sanity. Sanity comes from being sane or having all of your thinking in order. Okay, so number one, you can underline that controlling idea. Some things you should do to maintain your sanity. All of the sentences that we put numbers by, those are all focused on the things you should do to maintain your sanity. Okay, so you could put those in any order. Any questions about number one?
No.
Okay, the next one we need to have in a specific order because it's a time order paragraph. So for number two, starting at the top, these are the numbers you should have, okay? 6, 1, 3, 4, 8, 2, 5, and 7. 7 is at the bottom. So the first sentence of that supporting sentence part of a paragraph should be Sadako was born in Hiroshima, Japan in 1943. That's the first sentence in the supporting details section of the paragraph. Okay. Why? Because we're putting this in time order. We have to start when she was born, and then we continue on from there until after she died. Okay. Questions, anybody?
No.
Okay. And once again, number two, this is kind of tricky. You know, where's the topic? Where's the controlling idea? Well, I would say the topic is Sadako's story. Okay, and they made it kind of into a interesting sentence, but I would say really the topic, this paragraph is about Sadako's story, and we're focusing on how she's an inspiration. So I would say the controlling idea would be inspiration. Okay, so the paragraph is about Sadako's life, and we're focusing on how she was an inspiration. So once again, I want you to see lots of examples of topic sentence and then what comes after that and how is it related. That's very important for you to see in level 1 writing. Okay? All right, so that was your homework. Now, we are going to take a look at some pages in your book, and then I have an activity for us to do together a little bit later. So I want to look at page 29 and 30. Okay, so remember we're talking about supporting sentences, and you guys did a little homework too on page 30. Let me ask you guys, what is important when we are getting ready to write supporting sentences? What do we need to remember, or what do we need to have in supporting sentences? Can anybody kind of summarize this? Or we need to talk about this more, maybe. If you're struggling to answer, maybe we need to talk more. I shared in my PowerPoint presentation on Tuesday, I shared like 2 things about supporting details. I said you need to have supporting points, and I also said you need to have transition words. Okay, so let's talk about that. When we say 2 to 3 main supporting points, those are going to be like 3 reasons or 3 kinds or 2 ways. Remember in practice 1, wait, is that practice 1 or 2? Oh, practice 2. Remember in practice 2, we underlined words like becoming a responsible pet owner by following some simple steps. Remember that? Simple steps? So in my supporting details, I would have 3 supporting points that might be 3 steps. Okay? And maybe if I'm giving you the reasons why, then I need to have 2 or 3 supporting points, and those are going to be the reasons. 2 reasons or 3 reasons for something. All right, so every part, that middle part of your paragraph, you always need to have 2 or 3 main supporting points. And then you also need to have examples or other details to explain the points, the supporting points, okay? And a little bit later today, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in a paragraph, okay? So for now, just kind of think about that and remember that we need to have supporting points and we need to have examples to explain the points, okay? Is everybody with me on that? Are we thumbs up?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing we need to have is transitions between the supporting points. Transitions like also or in addition. Okay, and again, I have a paragraph in a minute I'm going to show you that illustrates that. I'll show you how to put those in there. But we need to have some type of organization so that it's easy to read, it's easy to follow. And then I would say number 4, we need to have unity. And what does unity mean when we're talking about writing?
Stay on topic.
Staying on topic. So on topic means you're not going outside of your controlling idea that you already put in your topic sentence. Now, some students, let's say they want to write a paragraph about, let's say they want to write a paragraph about citrus fruits. Okay, so they start writing and they put in there apples, oranges, and lemons. There's a problem. There's a problem here because apples are not things that can go under the citrus fruit category. Okay, so what they would have to do is one of 2 things. They could cross out the citrus part of their controlling idea and they could say, I'm going to talk, there are 3 kinds of fruit that are healthy for you. And now we can talk about apples, oranges, and lemons because these are all fruit. But if I keep citrus in the controlling idea, then I would have to take out apples. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, it's another example is kind of like an umbrella when you have a topic. And I teach this when I teach reading, because in reading, you have to look for main ideas and supporting sentences as well. Okay, if I have I need to have a controlling idea that's going to give me enough room to talk about my supporting sentences, my supporting points. Okay, so it's a relationship. There's a relationship between your topic sentence and your supporting points. You have to keep those connected. That's my main point, okay, for unity. So stay on topic. Don't mention things that are not included in your controlling idea. And I would say that's the 4th thing to remember about supporting sentences. Okay, so let's go to page 30 and let's look at how these writers did or did not focus on unity. So we're going to look at unity for a second. First of all, on page 29, do you see at the bottom of the page the green highlighted section? Page
Which
20.
page?
Page 29. Is everybody there?
Okay.
Okay, so the green section there, that is the part we need to X out. We need to take it out because it is off topic. It is not unified. It doesn't have unity. Okay, so that's what they're doing to give you an example. Why? Because the green part, those sentences, they are focused on people at the gym, working out just in recreational for fun. Okay, but the topic sentence, if you go back to the topic sentence, what does it say? Professional athletes who use steroids damage their reputation and their health. So we're not talking about anybody and everybody at the gym who uses steroids. We are supposed to be looking at professional athletes. So once again, it's like that umbrella. I have to have only details that are included in with professional athletes. Okay, I can't go and talk about, oh, my friend at the gym, or just a regular person. We're talking about professional athletes. So we need to take out that part of the paragraph, okay? Let's go over to page 30. First of all, you need to underline the topic sentence, right? The first sentence in paragraph A is the topic sentence where it says professional women's sports is underrepresented in news coverage, okay? So we underline that. That's the topic sentence. Did anybody find a sentence that we need to take out? Did anybody cross out a sentence?
I missed this part of my homework, teacher. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So we're on page 30. It's okay. You can always go back and look at it. It's a lot to read, but basically, you need to circle B for no. So does this paragraph have unity? No. And we want to cross out where it starts with however. There are many, and go all the way until Michelle, W-I-E. Okay, so we're going to cross out this entire section here because that part of the paragraph is focused on how these women are in news coverage. Okay, but the topic sentence says they are not. Women are not, or they're not presented enough in news coverage. So for number one, we need to cross out these sentences because this part doesn't fit in with my controlling idea. Okay. The second paragraph, we're going to circle A. So yes, this paragraph is unified. We underline the topic sentence, which is the first sentence where it says to minimize the problems. That's the topic sentence. And every sentence in this paragraph is unified. So if you want to look at a good example, look at letter B. That's a good example of a paragraph, okay? Letter C, I'm putting up here as number 3, but letter C, we circle B. It is not unified. It does not have unity. And I want you to cross out where it says, again, it starts with however electronic voting all the way until it says can by hand. So we're crossing out three sentences in this paragraph. Okay. And for paragraph C, the topic sentence is actually the second sentence. However, paperless electronic voting is both unreliable and dangerous. That's what you need to underline as a topic sentence in that third paragraph. Paperless electronic voting is both unreliable and dangerous. You notice that's two adjectives, and that's a controlling idea there. Okay. Okay, so if you're a little bit lost and you don't know what I'm talking about, just kind of time out and go back and read those when you have time, and then you can come back and check your answers. So don't worry about trying to understand it now. Okay, so let's continue a little bit in our book. Unless anybody has a question. Are there any questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, we're doing a lot with the book today. So look at page 32. Page 32, what we're focusing on is having enough support. Remember I said in my list up here, number 2, you need to have examples or details to explain your points. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. Look at page 32. And what we're going to do, I want you to get your pencil if you have a book. If you don't have your book, maybe you can highlight this or just put a star by it. We're going to look at the paragraph and look at what's missing, okay? This is practice 2 on page 32. So the topic sentence is at the top. It says, our city encourages people to reduce household waste in a number of ways. Gerardo, can you guess what the controlling idea is?
Yes. In a number of ways.
Exactly. The topic is how to reduce waste, household waste, okay? What the paragraph is about, and we're focusing on the ways to do that. Okay, good. So we've got our topic sentence. It's a good sentence. Now we're ready to write support. So the next sentence says, families are provided with green recycle boxes. Many different objects can be recycled in this way. Now what we're doing here is we're explaining something. So we need to give specific examples. So in the blanks, we need to add specific things that you can recycle. So it says items such as, and we can add in here cans, glass bottles, paper, and cardboard. Okay, so if you have your book, you can write those in. We're adding specific details: cans, glass bottles, paper, and cardboard. Okay, and then we continue, can be placed in a box for recycling. So that is, I'm giving one main point and I'm explaining it with details. Now I'm going to my second point. Households also, you see that transition, also receive compost boxes. People are encouraged to compost kitchen waste. For example, so here's another example or detail to explain the point. So we can add in that second blank, vegetable and fruit peels can go into the compost pile. Vegetable and fruit peels. You guys know what peels are?
Yes.
After you peel an apple, you have that stuff left over that you don't want.
Yes.
Okay, so the first blank, cans, bottles, and cardboard paper. The second blank, vegetable and fruit peels. Okay, and then we need to have a verb after. For example, we need a subject and verb. So vegetable and fruit peels can go in the compost. Okay, and we can continue. It says also garden waste such as grass and leaves We can add that in there. So you see what we're doing? We're adding specific details. Okay, so the last point we can say, for instance, old refrigerators and computers can be recycled. Old refrigerators and computers. Okay, so that's an example of how we can add details into supporting details. Okay, now flip over to page 34. Remember I said on the screen here, number 3. Remember I said include some transitions. So look at page 34. This is a list of transitions that you can start using in your writing. Most of these you probably already know, or at least you've seen them before. Okay, so we are going to focus on these. Get your pencil or just make a note on paper. Page 34, I want you to focus on addition transitions. So those are like also, first, in addition, next, finally. Okay, I also want you to circle the words example. Those are transitions that you really need to use in level 1 as well. Example transitions. So those are like, for example, for instance. Okay. And then one more, I want you to circle summary or conclusion. Summary or conclusion on the left side of that blue box. Okay. Those are words like in conclusion or in other words. Those are ones I want you to add or use in your writing. So what we're going to do for homework, I'm going to give you practice 4.
Practice 4?
Yeah, practice 4. You guys are going to read, take your time to read, and then add in those transitions. Okay, so you're looking on the chart on page 34, and actually the top of page 35, they give you the transition words. And what is the purpose of transitions? Who can tell me why we have transitions?
To have relation between sentences?
Yes, to show or signal. It's like a signal to show relationship between ideas and sentences in a paragraph. Okay, so you guys are going to practice that at home. So what I want to do is I want to show you the structure of a paragraph that I wrote. And actually, you will probably notice this and recognize this. And what we're going to do together is you're going to work with a partner. And let's see who we have here today. Lucia, are you there? I noticed you've been in and out because of reception problems. Are you there? Can you turn on your microphone?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. So you can join our group. So we'll just have Sammy, Lucia, and Gerardo, just the 3 of you can be one group. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pull up the Blackboard page, and I'm going to show you exactly where this assignment is that I'm looking at. Okay, this is what Gerardo was talking about earlier. So if I go down to reading assignment 2, that's today's assignment, okay? And I click on basic paragraph for analysis. This is what we're doing in class now because I want to show you how to do this here, all right? And clicking on this, and I can zoom in a little bit for you guys Do you notice this topic, my wedding day?
Yes.
Yeah, remember that paragraph I showed you? I think it was it last week or Tuesday? I think it was last week.
That's
Anyways,
what.
I showed you how to make it good and correct and with the format. Well, this time what I did was I added a few sentences because I want to make it better. So last week the paragraph was okay. It was very basic, but it was okay. Now I'm making it better. And I want you to take a partner. I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes, okay? You're going to read this. If you want to, you can pull it up on your own computer and kind of scroll through and look at it, okay? But what you're going to do is read it and then answer these questions at the bottom, okay? So what we're doing is we're looking at organization, how I organize my paragraph. The very top sentence is a topic sentence. The very last sentence is the conclusion. But what we want to do is focus on the middle part, the supporting sentences. And what we're looking for is a supporting point. Okay, remember I talked about a minute ago, I said you need to have 2 or 3 supporting points, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to look for that specifically, that supporting point number 1, and then details about the supporting point. So let's look at that right here. The best day of my life was the day I got married because I felt like a princess. Every member of my family was present. So I'm talking about my family. My family, that is the first point. That's the first way or reason that my wedding day was my favorite day. Okay. Then I go to my next part and I give a detail. How was that special to me that my family was there? Everyone brought gifts and smiles, and they all told me how beautiful I looked. So do you see how this sentence is telling me more about how my family made it a special day? Does everybody see that?
Yes.
This is key. This is very important for you to catch now in level 1. So as you're reading, I want you to see, okay, that's a supporting point, and then she explains it more with a couple of more specific details. Okay, this is the key to good writing in level 1. So I highlighted this whole thing yellow to show you that it's like a connection. It's a section or a part of the supporting details. Okay. And then I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes and I want you to look at the other part. You're going to look for the transition, supporting point 2, details about supporting point 2, and tell me what color that is. And then on and on here, and then focus a little bit on the transition words. Okay, does everybody know what we're doing?
Yes.
Any questions? Everybody's good. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Like I said, you can pull this up on your own computer, but do you need me to leave this here for you so you can see it? Does anybody need me to keep this here?
Not me.
Okay, Sammy or Lucia, do you need me to keep this here for you?
No,
Yes,
not
teacher,
for
thank
me.
you.
Okay, Lucia, you need it. Okay, so I will leave it here. Hold on. Let me go back for a second and I'm going to get out of your way. Okay, so I'll give you guys 10 minutes to work on this, okay?
So sufficient.
So, okay. For the transition words, I think is the first one is first of all, the second one is also, and the third one is thirdly. How do you think? What do you think?
The ones,
Thirdly, Thirdly.
Is transition, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is first of all, and also, and in fact.
Oh, in
mhm,
fact,
in fact.
yes. Mhm.
Yes.
For example, probably? No.
No, I don't think.
Everything,
No, no, everything.
well, it's not transition yet. You're right.
I think thirdly is transition to.
Is transition time? I think so. The same like first.
Yes.
So, okay. Mm, So, for,
We just
for
we just have to identify what words are transition words, and that's it.
yes, I think so because we have one, two, and three. So for the first one, I think is first, like Sammy is your name. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm Sammy.
Like you said first, right? In the first one, in the yellow one. For the blue one, I think it's also. And for the gray, I think it's thirdly, right?
Um, in blue is also and in fact.
Okay.
Okay, let me just jump in here. You guys are doing great, but you're answering the last question. What are the three transition words? Okay. The three transition words are first of all, also, and thirdly. Okay. Did you guys get those?
Yes.
And actually there's another one here, for example. Oh, and another one, in fact.
Okay.
But it asks you specifically, oh yeah, there's actually five. There's first of
Yes.
all, also, in fact, thirdly, for example. Okay, a
Okay.
lot of them. But what I want you to do now is I want you to look for this. Where is supporting point number 2? Where is the details about supporting point number 2? And I want you to look for the sentence. Which sentence is the supporting point number 2? Which sentence is supporting point number 3? And so on. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Not I am confused. I'm confused.
You're confused?
For example, in the first line, the supporting sentence could be mm, could be the first one.
This one right here?
First, every member of my family was present.
Yes, that's my first supporting point. Okay. And then what is this sentence then? What is the next sentence? Is that another supporting point? Am I going to my second point, or am I staying with the first point, but I'm explaining it more?
I can
You're going.
explain more. Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Harada, what did you say?
Nah, nothing.
Yeah. So that is correct, Lucia. This sentence here with everyone brought gifts, that one is explaining my first supporting point, right? Does everybody get
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're doing is now we're looking at the transition and the second supporting point. Where is that?
I think is also there were two waitresses who brought me
Yes,
food.
this.
Yes.
Okay, so what that is what I put right here. Is this blue or green? I can't tell.
It's blue.
Blue.
Okay, this is where we're going with this second section, the blue. We've got a second supporting point. Now I'm looking at the waitresses who gave me everything that I wanted. Okay, that's my second point. And then I have another sentence to explain my second point. Does everybody
Yes.
see that?
Yes.
So the colors represent the supporting details, the topics, or we could call them subtopics. I've got uh, three sections of details. I've got family part first in the yellow. I've got the waitresses in the green or blue. And then what is this down here in the third? What is my third supporting point?
E- is thirdly, everything was organized and decorated to make me
Good.
feel special,
Good. Organized.
organized.
Yeah, you're giving me a good Spanish translation for that. But yeah, everything was organized and decorated. That is the third supporting point. Okay? Does everybody understand?
Yes.
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 Okay. And then after that point, I'm not finished. I need to explain it more. I need to give an example or a detail of how it was organized, how it was decorated. And I give a specific example, the flowers, my favorite colors. So down here we want to put gray color. That is representing the third point. Okay, so Lucia, do you understand now?
Yes. Yes. Teacher.
Okay,
Thank you.
so yeah, so this is class, this is how I want you to organize your paragraph. You can see that each sentence has a specific purpose, right?
Okay.
I'm not just throwing in sentences, just, oh, I'm not just forgetting about structure. I'm looking at how it's organized and I'm putting in specific kinds of information in a particular place. And I know this will be challenging in the beginning, okay? It is challenging, but remember we talked on Tuesday about planning. You guys remember I said planning is very important.
Yeah.
Why is planning important? How can it help me?
Because if we plan it, we can have better or clear ideas what we are going to do with our paragraph.
Yes. It helps you stay focused.
Uh, what
Okay?
did
So, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say, Gerardo?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put attention. What did you ask last?
No, that's what I asked. You answered me correctly. When you plan before you write, then it sets you up for success. It gives you the right path to take so that you can be successful in your writing. So here, and I put this in Blackboard as well, okay? So you guys can see exactly the same thing in Blackboard. I want you to see the structure that we followed in that paragraph I just showed you. It follows this structure. Supporting detail, we have a topic sentence at the top, right? Remember the wedding day was the best day because I felt like a princess, right? And then right after that, I put my supporting detail number 1. Who remembers what the detail was about? The first detail. In the wedding.
The first detail.
Yeah.
Every member of my family was present.
Yep. Family. Family was one reason that I felt like a princess. It's what my family did in being at my wedding, right? So that was the first detail, family. And then I explained that a little bit more, like how. Well, my family brought me gifts. My family, they gave me hugs. They told me wonderful things. Okay, so that's explaining that. So if you want to look at it visually, these two are connected. Remember, those are the yellow color of my paragraph. And then I gave you a transition. I said also, right? And Sammy, what was the second point, the second detail?
You asked me, teacher?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Its second detail is there were 2 waitresses bought me food and anything else I needed.
Yeah. So we're talking about the service that I got. Like they treated me like I was a queen or a princess.
Yes.
Okay. So we focused that section on the waitress and the service. So I have a transition. Then I gave you my second point, the waitresses. They served me, they helped me. Then I explained it a little bit more, some more specific details. And I said they brought me a sweater. Okay? Is everybody following me?
Yes.
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 Going too fast or you got it?
It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's good.
Okay, okay. This is a lot to focus on a Thursday morning, but okay. And then, so after we talked about the sweater and the great service, Lucia, what did I do next in my paragraph? I had a transition and like also or in addition, and then what was the third supporting detail? Do you remember?
The third is that she received all attention of the waitress. Sorry.
The waitress?
Yes.
Okay, remember the waitress was the second supporting detail.
Oh.
What was the
Yes.
third one? I know you don't have the paragraph in front of you, so it might be hard to remember. Do you remember we talked about the colors, the photos?
Yes, the color gray, but I don't remember exactly what was the third.
Okay, so it's the
Um,
decorations. The
yes,
decoration.
correction.
It said something like, thirdly, the place was decorated to make me feel special. And then I explained it in more detail. The photos, the colors, those are decorations. Okay, and then I had a nice little simple conclusion sentence that restated my topic. Okay, any questions about the organization?
No, for
No.
me, but, but I want to ask something probably a little bit out of the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, it's a little difficult for me to choose the topic of a paragraph. For
Yeah,
example, do you remember on page, I think it's page 15, I think so. Uh, they were talking about the topic about so general. For example, in this paragraph, you
yeah,
say my wedding day. So
yeah,
for me, it looks like so general, but I think it's really good topic. But
yeah,
in page 15, there is a topic that it says today's students are too weak, and they said it's too narrow or something like that. So how
Oh,
how can I notice we how to choose my topic?
oh, okay. So you were looking at page 15 on how to choose a correct topic sentence, like with a controlling idea, right?
Yes, because for me, my wedding day is on so general, right? But I think it's very good. Also, you say it's really good topic.
Yeah. Well, the teacher gave the assignment, tell me about the best day of your life. Then I chose my wedding day. So I narrowed it down to my wedding day, and then I chose to focus on how it made me feel like a princess. So I still have my topic, wedding day, and my controlling idea made me feel like a princess. Okay. In your book, I will be honest with you, they don't have a system or a way to help you organize or to help you understand this is good and this is not. They just give you a lot of like random examples and then tell you which one is good and which one's not. So I agree with you, Gerardo. It is a little confusing on page 15 when it looks like they make a topic sentence, but then they say, no, that was not good, right? Like today's students are too weak.
Yeah,
What they want you to do is they want you to make it better. So you could say, today's students, I don't even know what they mean by too weak. Today's students are irresponsible and unmotivated. That would be a good topic sentence.
okay.
Yeah, I think they just want you to kind of make it better. You know, when they say, how are they weak? It's a little bit like vague, like, why don't you focus a little bit more? So today's are too irresponsible and unmotivated. You know,
Oh,
maybe we can focus on those two adjectives. So they're giving you some examples, but they're not really telling you why
yeah,
these are not good and how you can make it better. Um, yeah, so my advice is use your book as a resource for different activities and to look at different paragraphs. But if it's confusing, don't focus on your book. Focus on my lessons
okay.
because I teach it in a little bit different way than what your book is giving you. Remember, I said focus on adjectives
Yes.
or plural nouns.
Okay.
That might be a good starting place for you. Let me put an adjective here, or let me put a plural noun, as, a way to make a good topic sentence. Okay.
Thank you.
There are a million different ways to write, and your book is giving you one perspective. I give you maybe another way to look at it. So use what's helpful to you. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
So that's a great question.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, for me, teacher.
Okay. So let me just recap or just kind of review what we just talked about. So when we're making supporting sentences, okay, we need to have about 5 or 6 supporting sentences in our paragraph. And what I've done for you today is I've shown you how to organize each sentence so it fits together like a puzzle, okay? And today we looked at this. If you look at the screen here, I've written again these 3 supporting details. And guess where these came from? How did I get these 3 ideas? Pre-writing.
So on the third one,
Mm-hmm.
do you think is decoration is best than organized?
Organized. Oh, because it said everything was organized and let me see what it said.
Decorated.
Everything was organized and decorated. Yeah, so it's both decoration, organization. I can add that in there.
Okay.
Gerardo, that's a good point that you said that. You remember when I talked about when you're doing your pre-writing and you have like a lot of different ideas, and what we want to do is pick the 3 best. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to choose decoration as one point and then organization as another point, because these 2 are very similar.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I put them together as one, kind of the same thing or very similar. How it was decorated, how the place was organized. Okay, so this is what comes from my pre-writing, like my
Yes.
brainstorming or my clustering. I get my ideas and then I make sure I have 3 that are very different from each other. Family is nothing to do with the waitress or the decoration. Family is very different. The waitress and the service is very different from my family and the decoration also.
Okay.
So this is where you guys get, when you're doing your clustering or your brainstorming and you're writing down your ideas, okay? And in the middle you have my wedding day, and you start writing things. Oh, I remember the service was so good. They brought me a sweater, and I remember all the flowers and the photos. Okay, that's the decoration, organization, right? So you're writing down your ideas in the beginning, and then you can move to the second step, which is to choose which ones are the best ideas. Then you guys can go over and start doing this little outline. Okay, and all of this is done before you start actually writing sentences. So how do you feel about this? Is this like totally new information, or did you kind of already know this a little bit?
Yeah, it's a new information for me. And when you're when we are taking the class, it looks very simple. but, but when I have to write a paragraph, I don't know how to apply everything, But I think it's about practice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really good information because in my case, I'm learning a lot, something new for me. So
Yeah.
it's good for me. I don't know about my classmates, but for me it's really good. I really enjoy this class, teacher.
Okay, good. Well, my goal is to make it a little bit challenging, but not so much where you're like, oh gosh, forget it. I could never do and you give up, you know. It is challenging, but remember what I said last week, when you learn the American style of writing and you just get so used to it and familiar with it that you can literally take any topic. It could be a history topic, it could be a science topic, it could be art or any topic, and you can fit it into this structure and you can produce a really good paragraph or a really good essay later on in your academic career, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be challenging at first, but that's my job, is to help you learn it and then become more familiar and kind of more natural for you guys. So it will be very challenging, the first paragraph especially. Next week, I'm going to help you. We're going to choose a topic, and then you guys are going to do the brainstorming part next week before you even begin writing. So next week, you don't have a paragraph that you have to turn in. It's just the pre-writing, organizing your ideas, getting ready to write is next week, okay? Because it's so important. And I'm going to help you and make sure, or at least try to make sure, that you've got 3 really good supporting details before you start writing, because I don't want you to just write, and then get at the end and then, oh, look, you don't even have, you don't even have supporting details or these points. You only have one detail and you just kept talking and talking, So we'll organize it. I want to help you kind of organize your ideas and things like that before you start writing. So hopefully it'll make it better. Lucia and Sammy, what about you two? How do you feel about this? Is it confusing, or do you kind of understand it? Can you guys come?
Yeah, for me it's a little confusing also, but we can do it.
Okay.
I feel sometimes as Gerardo, when I start writing, I said, oh my God, I'm lost. I need to check again the videos, my notes,
Okay.
and yes, sometimes I'm feeling frustrated.
Overwhelmed. Yeah. And is it confusing? Is the part about finding the information, like which part is a detail, which part is a example, like kind of, is that the hard part, or is it the structure of the sentence, like subject and verb?
Yes, the structure of
Yeah,
the sentence.
yeah, for me too, the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
Structure.
Yes, for me, it's too.
Yeah. So the ideas or the concept, you guys kind of understand, like how to organize, one point, and then you got your second point. I mean, is that part kind of the easy part, but the hard part is the subjects and verbs and all that?
For me, the hard part is the subjects and verbs,
Okay.
and next is the structure. But I
Okay.
think I can handle more structure than the. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the 2 things that you need to work on. We've got the paragraph structure, which is what we talked about today. Okay, this is what we call paragraph structure. You can also call it the organization. Okay. And then at the first few weeks of class, we were focusing on sentence structure, right? Subjects and verbs and all that. And yeah, we spent a lot of time on that because it is one of the hardest things to do. And subjects and verbs and nouns, all of that stuff. And actually next week, we are going to look a little bit more at sentence structure again and do some more review and practice with that. So we haven't finished that yet. We're still going to come back and do that. But now you guys can see there's two things that you work on when it comes to writing. And you work together with it. Okay? Paragraph structure you're working on as the same time you're working on your sentence structure. And those skills will grow together. Okay? So just keep practicing. And you guys have your journal assignment that is due tomorrow. Okay. Journal assignment is a good way. Remember I said I don't mark off for sentence structure mistakes. It's a good time for you to say, okay, let me just do my best and just see what I can do. And don't focus a lot on, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a bad grade, or I don't know what my subject is. The journal is a great place to practice your writing, okay? So I want you to take what I've shared with you this week and last week, and I want you to do a journal assignment. Okay, you're doing your journal number 2. That's due tomorrow by midnight. And remember for that, you want to pick one of the topics from the top part of the journal worksheet or the journal assignment sheet, okay? Got some really simple topics in there for you to write about. You can just set the timer if you want. Time yourself for 20 to 30 minutes and just see what you can do in 20 and 30 minutes, okay? And then turn that in. Try to kind of think about, okay, where is my topic sentence when I'm making a journal paragraph? You know, what is going to be my support? Can I add my conclusion in the end? Those are things I want you to do. Okay? Any questions about the journal?
No, teacher, not for me.
Okay. Then the second thing you need to do by Friday is your discussion board editing, partner editing activity. I already put listed your partner in the lessons folder, so go back and see who your partner is there, and check your partner's topic sentence.
Yes, teacher.
Now, when you're doing that, I want you to have your topic sentence, and then the next sentence, and the next sentence, and that's all you need. So you remember my paragraph about the wedding day? I said the wedding day was the best day of my life because I felt like a princess. That was the topic sentence. Then I said, first of all, my family was there with me. And then the next sentence said, my family gave me hugs and brought me gifts and told me nice things. Okay? Then stop. All right? You do not need to continue. Like in my paragraph, I continued all the way to the conclusion. I don't want you to do that for the discussion board. You only need to do the first sentence, do the second, do the third, and then stop. Okay? The purpose is so that I can see that you know how to begin. How to begin a paragraph. That's all I'm looking at. Do you know how to begin writing a paragraph? Okay? Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so that shouldn't take you too long. I would say maybe 20 minutes for the discussion board. I don't want you to be there for an hour or 2 hours trying to write, you know, just 20 minutes, put it in there, and then your partner can check it for you, and you check your partner's paper too, or
Yes.
discussion board. Okay? And then the
Yes.
last thing will be to work on the transitions in practice 4, page 35.
Okay.
All right? And I do believe that's it for this week. That will be it for this week.
Okay.
So-
Teacher, I have a question.